Students, our today's topic is challenges to democracy. In the class 9 civics and 10 civics political science, we learn only one thing, that is democracy. What is democracy? Why democracy? Forms of democracy, features, etc. etc. And then in the second last chapter, we come that what are the outcomes of democracy. And now in the last chapter of political science is the challenges in front of democracy. Different countries face different kinds of challenges, as we read in our book also. The first challenge is the foundation challenge. Means first of all, we have to found a democracy in a country. In our last 2 years books also, there were many examples given to us, like in Nepal people were fighting for the foundation of democracy, and somewhere in Sri Lanka, Belgium, Chile, Bolivia, etc., people are fighting for the foundation of democracy in their country. It is not in Bolivia. So the foundation of democracy means first of all, we have to establish a democracy in a country. At least 1/4 of the world is still not under democratic government. So the challenge for democracy in these parts of the world is very stark. These countries face foundational challenges of making the transitions of democracy and then instituting democracy, a democratic government in their country. So after establishing or founding democracy in a country, the next challenge is challenge of expansion. Okay, now democracy is established in a country. Now from Delhi, a democratic government run the country. Now its next challenge is to expand it. Second level, then to third level, that is Panchayati Raj, and this is how expand democracy to different levels. It is called the expansion of democracy. It ensuring the greater power to local government, extensions of federal principle to all units of the federation, inclusions of women and minority groups, etc. falls under this challenge. Now the third challenge is the deepening of democracy. Means to make it a powerful democracy. After 1947, democracy was established in Pakistan, but just after few years, military dictatorship coup the democratic government of Pakistan. The same was happening in Bangladesh and many other countries. Means democracy was found there, and somewhere they start to expand the democracy, but the main thing is to deepen the democracy. The example which I would like to give you is that there are so many trees. When a storm comes, these all trees fallen. We can say this storm is a coup, but this tree of democracy doesn't fall just because its roots are very deep into earth. In other words, now it becomes a very strong democracy. This involves strengthening of the institutions and practice of democracy. This challenge takes different meanings and paths in different parts of the world. Here we can say that not only the levels as we discussed, but also make many democratic organizations, commissions like Women Commission, Human Rights Commissions, etc. These are those things which give more strength to democratic government or democracy. Each challenge is linked to the possibilities of reforms. Generally, all the suggestions or proposals about overcoming various challenges democracies are called democratic reforms. Or we also called it the political reforms which we need to face all these challenges. Law has an important role to play in the political reforms. Here we have to make laws, but carefully devised changes in law can help to discourage wrong political practice and also encourage good ones. So the main thing or the first thing in front of is to make a legal constitutional changes which themselves cannot overcome challenges to democracy. Means we have to make the laws but carefully, which keep a country a democratic country. We must see the results also, that any legal change must carefully look at what results it will have on politics. Sometimes the results may be counterproductive also. Many times we see it. Generally, law that seeks to ban something are not very successful in good things. Have more changes of working we need for this. Here we can take the examples of the law TADA. Government made these laws to control terrorism in India, but the political leaders, as we see in Tamil Nadu, DMK Supremo Karunanidhi and AIADMK Supremo Jayalalitha, they both used this law for their personal use and for their personal revenges. Democratic reforms are to be brought about principally through political practice also. Therefore, the main focus in these democratic reforms should be on the way to strengthen the democratic practice. Its main concern is to increase and improve the quality of political participation by the ordinary citizens, so that each and everyone can participate in a democratic regime. The next thing is that any proposal of political reform should think not only about what is the good solution, but also that who and how will these reforms will be implemented. We must think on these all things. Here one point is that must see the results. One more example which I would like to give you, that just giving an example. One hand, government gives 1/3 seats to women in local areas, and if government make another law under which the main problem of India, that is population or controlling population, the next law made by government is that any person who has 2 or more children cannot participate in elections, and then we see that more than 90% these women are those women who have more than two children, means now they cannot participate in elections. This law, one law, give them chance to participate in elections, and the second law is just opposite of it. So this is how we must think of all the political reforms which we are doing and make all these reforms legal. Redefining democracy. So at last, let us redefine the democracy as what we see in last 3-4 chapters of this book plus the book of 9th class also. The rulers are elected by the people, must take all the decisions in a democracy. Election must offer a fair choice and a fair opportunities to the people to change the current rulers. These all choices and fair opportunities should be available to all people on equal basis, and the exercise of this choice must lead to a government limited by basic of the constitutions and citizens' right, means a government under the constitutional framework. So this is how today we discuss or thinking the challenges of democracy, as we discuss the challenge that is foundational challenge, challenge to expansion, deepening the democracy. That's all for today. The same chapter will continue in our next class.